Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It has been a long time since I have gone live on this channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Ivy Prosper, and I share stories from Africa and the African diaspora. Today, I'm excited to talk to you about why are so many celebrities coming to Ghana. High profile people making the decision to come to Ghana, West Africa. Now, it has been a while since I have gone live here, and I'm hoping that some of you will be joining very few years. Over the last 4 years, since 2019, Ghana has been increasing in its profile for people of African descent, people from Africa and the African diaspora, very much interested in coming to Ghana, especially after the kickstart of the Year of Return program in 2019, which marked the 400-year anniversary of the first documented ship of enslaved Africans to arrive in Virginia, USA. Now, since then, that year was very successful, and then it was Beyond the Return, a Decade of African Renaissance, which is a 10-year campaign, and the theme is a decade of African Renaissance. And this 10-year campaign continues to invite the global African diaspora to come and visit Ghana and to experience the culture, the heritage, the history, and everything in between. And so there are 7 pillars that are the foundation of Beyond the Return. And those 7 pillars were the result of feedback received after a year of return. Now, subsequently, we have seen so many people over the years coming to Ghana, whether they are celebrities, high profile people, people in politics, and business people, and the average person who's one of the things in Ghana. Now, we're in 2023, and there are so many people who are still coming to Ghana. Now, we started the year off with the Black Star Line Festival, which, the concert in Black Star Square had so many people that were there. It was reported, according to the numbers given by Chance the Rapper and his team, 50,000 people, over 50,000 people had come to the concert, according to the numbers that they had shared. Thank you for joining, Kwame. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Some of you may not know that besides my YouTube creation and my work with Ghana Tourism Authority Beyond the Return, Year of Return, that I also have experience working as a producer. And this year, I was really excited because I was brought on board as a producer on Chance the Rapper's Black Star Line Festival in Ghana. It was a full week of activities that were happening, and I was very honored to have been asked to be on the team as a producer in Ghana for the content created for the Black Star Line documentary for Chance the Rapper and Vic Mensa. It was a really wonderful way to start off 2023, and it's been a great year so far. And today I am here to talk to you more about why we're seeing so many celebrities coming to Ghana. Now, today, the United States Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black Southeast Asian descent to become a vice president in the United States, and she is in Ghana. She is in Ghana as part of a 3-country tour in Africa, which includes Ghana, Tanzania, and Zambia. I'm just curious to know how some of you think about Kamala, Zambia and Tanzania, with the interests that the United States has in Africa. Some people are skeptical of the visit, and some people are welcoming of the visit, which I noticed in the comment section for Beyond the Return when I posted the pictures of her and her arrival in Ghana. And I'm just curious to know, in the comment section, you can share with me what you think about Kamala Harris coming to Ghana, and if you think it's a good thing, if you think it's a bad thing, what are your thoughts on her being in Ghana? It's an exciting time for Ghana as so many people continue making the journey here to experience the history, culture, and heritage. I'm going to show you, for those of you who may have not seen some of the pictures and content of her in Ghana. She was welcomed by the Vice President of Ghana, Vice President Baumia, and there was so many people who were there when she arrived, including her young people are getting the opportunity to be educated, to get access to learning business ideas, business skills, learning life skills. And they were there to greet her, which was a really a nice sight to see these young people as they greeted the vice president arriving in Ghana. The other person who arrived today was Spike Lee. So let me just show you before I get into Spike Lee. This was the vice president arrival when she was speaking at the airport as she arrived. She spoke a few words and she mentioned that she's very excited about the future of Africa and said that she was looking forward to the impact that the future of Africa has on the rest of the world. And for her, of course, she's speaking from the perspective of the United States and saying that what she's seeing, that's what's happening on the continent, is really exciting. She spoke about the fact that the African continent is very young, and the average age being 19 years old, and that is something for the future. And some people are skeptical, as I said in the beginning, skeptical of a U.S. Political representative coming to Ghana. Some people are saying it's because China and Russia have had huge interests in Africa, and that the United States wants to get their stake as well. She also went on to say that by the year 2050, that they believe that 1 in 4 people on Earth is going to be on the continent of Africa, and that it was very important for this partnership between the continent and the U.S. to help reinforce some of the work that they plan on doing together. And for this trip, she says that she wants to focus on increasing investments in Ghana, on the continent of Africa in general, and about economic growth and opportunities in the continent. And she also talked about the empowerment of women and girls. She is going to be having a special private event that's going to feature girls and women entrepreneurship in Ghana, which is an invitation-only event. Now, thank you so much, Kwame, for being here and for giving your comments here. You said you're not sure what benefit Africans and African can get from her visit. And that's a sentiment that quite a few people have been sharing, that they're not sure exactly what her interests are in Africa and if it is really of value for her to be here on the continent of Africa. So we'll see. She's here for a few days before she goes off to the other 2 countries in Africa that she's visiting. So we're going to see exactly how things go. She's going to be meeting with the president of Ghana as well. And I'm sure that will be an interesting meeting to see and to hear what it is that she has to say to the president of Ghana. And if there's anything that people of Ghana will think is positive, and if there's a good outcome from this particular meeting when she does meet with the president, and when she does meet with some of the other people who have an interest in her being in Ghana. So the other person that I mentioned that is in Ghana is Spike Lee. He is a award-winning filmmaker who does a lot of work that is impacting in telling stories from the African-American community, Black stories. And he has been very controversial sometimes, but I love him. I love the stories that he tells, some of 89. And he has since been a figure in the film industry, a voice for the African-American community, telling stories that really make an impact and open dialogue about certain conversations. And Kwame says no issue with her. We have other people joining. Abby, thanks for joining today. I am talking about why so many celebrities are coming to Ghana, high-profile people. I was talking about Kamala Harris and her visit, and then just started talking about Spike Lee. Now, Abby says it's great to see more celebrities coming. As time goes by, more and more celebs will appear. I definitely agree with that. And Kwame said, love Spike Lee, so do I. Welcome, Saloni. I hope I said that right. Salone or Saloni? I hope I said it right. Which one is right? Hi, thanks for joining. Abby says, I would love to see Spike Lee make more films in Ghana. That would be awesome. That would be really awesome if he does, especially with people like Idris Elba, which is another person, another celebrity who was in Ghana recently talking about opening up a film studio in Ghana. He said he wants to open up a film studio in Ghana. And he also spoke about wanting to open a film studio in Tanzania. That's another place that he has been talking about opening up a film studio. So he's very much getting his interest in the whole idea of producing content in Africa, which I think is awesome because we need to be telling our own stories from the African perspective. And the fact that he's really interested in showcasing that, I think is so, so amazing. And I'm happy to see that he has intentions to do that. So that's something that he was talking about recently. I don't know if some of you have seen those clips of him talking about, coming to Ghana and what he's planning on doing. It is posted all over social media, those videos. And he appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and he talked about his experiences in Ghana as well, which is pretty cool. The other person who's in town right now in Ghana is Cheryl Lee Ralph, award-winning actress who also has Jamaican heritage. She's Jamaican, she's American. She is a really talented actress. She's currently on a show called Abbott Elementary. She also is known for being on Sister Act. She was the mother on the TV show Moesha, and she's done so many TV shows, movies, and she also performs on stage. She was in Dreamgirl, Ghana, and experiencing the culture and the heritage, and getting very much involved in giving back to the community. She visited the school Basics International, and I know the young people there were very excited about her being in Ghana. Let me show you a quick clip. I love that. The way she was just getting into the dancing and the culture. And that's Cheryl Lee Ralph. That video was shared with me after she had a lunch in Jamestown, Accra. And it was like really, really, really awesome. Kwame says, I agree, Abby A. And Web Nation Africa. Oh, hello, Web Nation Africa. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much. We are live here today. I'm talking about why so many celebrities are coming to Ghana. Kwame says, who is it that you're talking, the lady from Sister Act? That is the video I just showed. Her name is Cheryl Lee Ralph, and she was in Sister Act 2. She's been so many different things. You can Google her, Cheryl Lee Ralph. She's done a lot. Abby A. Ivy, I didn't even know that she had Jamaican heritage until yesterday. I was so shocked. Cheryl killed it. She got moves. She definitely has moves. Yeah, she has Jamaican heritage. She talks about it, and she visits Jamaica. Jamaicans have taken her as being like their personal ambassador of Jamaica, and it's really, really cool. Abby says, "What's up, Web Nation? I love your channel. That's really great that you're interacting with Web Nation there. Awesome. So yeah, with more and more celebrities coming to Ghana, even Ludacris, rapper Ludacris is also in Ghana. He arrived a few days ago. He is with with a lot of artists who he's collaborating with potentially to do some Afrobeats inspired music. The first artist he met with was Sarkodie, and apparently they had met 11 years ago in Ghana, and now it's like this reconnection, which is really cool. The last time that Ludacris was in Ghana was actually in 2019 during the Year of Return, and it's great to see that he's back and that he's planning to collaborate and do music. So I think it's really, really awesome to see people like him coming to Ghana with a purpose of creating music. We're seeing more and more music that is from the African continent that's becoming popular globally around the world. And it's especially thanks to, I'll say, it already was on the rise. And then when the pandemic happened and people were going on TikTok and Instagram, and people were using Afrobeats music for their reels, for their TikTok videos, that's when it just completely exploded. Like, it was already on the rise, and that just made it explode, that it crossed over, and people who didn't even know about Afrobeats suddenly were knowing about the music around the world. And that was thanks to social media during the pandemic. So I think it's really, really awesome that artists are now seeing the value of African music, and they're coming here and they're wanting to work with local artists, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. So, celebrities coming a lot of times. So a lot of you know that I have been working the last 4 years as the social media manager for Ghana's Beyond the Return and Year of Return campaign. I'm the one who manages their social media pages the last 4 years. And it's been a really phenomenal experience. I've met so many interesting people. And one of the things that sometimes people comment on and sometimes people complain about is sometimes people say there's too much emphasis on celebrities, and why isn't there emphasis on the average person? And I always tell people, yes, we do post about the average people. I post about average things. I post about things that are going on. And you know what it is? You know what happens? Human beings care about celebrities more than they care about some of the average things that are going on. And the numbers don't lie. Like today, when I posted about Kamala Harris and posted about Spike Lee's arrival in Ghana, the number of shares of those stories has been just through the roof compared to, some of the other stories that I've posted in the last few days. And even we've been promoting this real estate event, which was real estate for youth in Ghana, for the youth to come and learn about real estate, learn about building wealth through real estate. And when I posted about that, it did not get much traction. People weren't sharing it. People weren't commenting much. People weren't liking it. It was like so few. I think one of the posts didn't even get 10 likes. But as soon as a celeb is posted, it's like boom, 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 boom. People are interested. So when human beings, critique and say, why do you focus on celebrities? It's not even that it's focused on celebrities. It's that when the celebrity is posted, people share it more than they share the other content. And I'm speaking specifically about the Year of Return and Beyond the Return pages from what I have seen. Thank you, everybody who's on the live today. Amma says, would be nice to have drummers and dancers at Arrival Hall at all times. So let me speak about this, because there's different viewpoints that people have. I've had some people say that it's annoying to see that, and why are they there? And then some people who say when they come to Ghana, they want to have the same welcome of the drummers and dancing. So having the drummers and dancers come to the airport requires a permit. So let's say there's a lot of tour groups that sometimes they want the drummers and dancers to come, and their organizer has to get a permit from the airport to be allowed to have the drummers and dancers come there and perform on airport grounds. Because we know around the world, airports have, airport security, different things and protocols in place. So to have them to come there, you have to get a permit. So you get the permit, you have to pay for the permit, and then you have to pay for the cultural troupe to be there also. Sometimes we get people that contact our office saying that they want this cultural troupe, and then we have to let them know that there's a process and it's not something you can request at the last minute. It's best that you request way ahead of time if that's what you're looking for. And you do have to pay. And then you do have to get a permit. So it's not something that's so simple that they're there all the time. Because some people even find them to be a nuisance, actually. Sometimes when people are arriving, they find it to be a little bit distracting and noisy. But most people absolutely love it and love the experience of seeing them, especially if you've never been to Ghana, you've never been to Africa, to see this sense of culture. And it's like, very warm and very inviting. And then if you love to dance, you join in and you feel the movement. And so, so that, I hope that answers your question, Ama, about your comment about having them there at all times. Frank says, do your job, sister. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Abby says, I don't think it's annoying to see the drummers and dancers at the airport. I hope they keep doing it. Thank you for your feedback. And then Leonard says, no, now Ghana is going down now. When all of them celebrities start coming, movies and music is going to degrade society. All kinds of immorality is coming. Watch, sin will get out of control. I appreciate your feedback. I think it's interesting when I see comments like this, because I see stuff like this in Ghanaian society already. But a lot of times Ghanaians pretend that it doesn't exist here already. It's not people coming in bringing what they're saying, but people are already doing it here. Like when I remember, I think it was 2013, and I turned on the TV and I saw Mama Zimbi and with someone else on TV, and they were actually showing sex positions on TV. And I was like, oh my God, I would never see this in Canada or the US. Like they're literally on top of each other. One leg is up, another leg is this way. And they're showing you this is the kind of position you can do when you're having sex. And this is at Ghana, that Ghanaians will say this is a so-called like moral, pure society. But I was like, this is on TV. And I've never seen this on TV in Canada and the US on like regular TV, not like cable, but regular TV that you just turn on and it's right there, free to air television. So, I just moved around and moved my back. I had a little back injury recently, and I'm still sore. So I just moved in a way that I shouldn't have moved, and now I'm feeling a little bit of pain. So I probably won't be on here very long now that I've aggravated my back a little bit. In any case, and I've interviewed people, and there's some interviews I did. I was working on a documentary that me and the person I was working on it with didn't finish, and he decided that he didn't want to do it anymore. He shelved the documentary. But in that documentary, there were people who were sharing a lot of intimate details of things that they do right here in Ghana. And I'm just like, whoa, these things are happening in Ghana. And these are local born and bred people. So when I hear that people say that Ghana's going down because of celebrities, I always say a lot of the stuff that people are critiquing celebrities for is already happening in Ghanaian society. So I don't think it's fair to blame high profile people for some of the stuff, because some of the stuff, it's already here. People are already doing it. Just people like to hide and pretend like they don't, but there's people doing those exact things. Thank you for your comment, Leonard. Kwame says, I love the drummers. Yes, I love the drummers too. Kwame, I agree with you, Ivy. So yeah, it's really, really true. Abby says immorality is all over the world and in every country. Yep, it definitely is. And Ghana is not an exception. Yeah, Ghana is not an exception at all. I mean, I see a lot of things here that I'm like, wow. So I don't think it's fair to blame other people, because human beings are human beings, and there's things that human beings are doing around the world that is not always the best thing. So thank you. I appreciate all of your comments, because everybody's opinions and feedback is very important. I should have taken that label off. That was a free promo for them. So let me see. I have another comment here. Ama says, nice to see Ghana on the world stage. Thank you for your comment. I'm feeling really hot in here. Let me just dab myself because I'm hot. Yeah, so it is really great seeing Ghana on the world stage. Ghana is just, it's like Ghana's blowing up. Ghana's blowing up. So let me do a quick promo. Here's a fan. Yes, this fan. These big fans that you can get in Ghana. Keep yourself cool, support local artisans. There's a brand called Fanzi that makes these, and it's a great way to keep cool. I said I should hire somebody whose job is to just fan me, just like go like this and just fan me. um, comments here. Abby says, Ivy, what happened to your chest? Are you okay? I knew I was gonna get this question because I was like, no matter what I wear, it shows. Like, unless I'm wearing like a turtleneck, and it's too hot for a turtleneck here. So I had a cyst on my chest. Some of you who follow me on Instagram, you may have noticed in some of my pictures, it was like just getting bigger and bigger. So I had a cyst on my chest, and it got removed recently. So I have stitches, and so that patch is there with the stitches underneath. So yeah, that's what it is. That's it. Thank you for asking. I appreciate your concern. Thank you so much. Ado says, thanks, Ivy, for the work you are doing. Stay blessed. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for joining the live stream and for your comment. Lady Ivy. Oh, we share a name. My name mate. Lady Ivy says, we want to see more lawyers, MDs, engineers with critical thinking capabilities to strengthen our development, not celebrities. Thank you for your comment, Lady Ivy. You know, the thing about celebrities is, as much as some people don't want to see them, they bring attention. And when they bring attention, it brings other people as well. A couple of years ago, there was a woman who came, actually, it was 2019 during the year of return, and she was an engineer, and I can't for the life of me remember her name, but she did some workshops where she was going around in the communities and speaking. And so there's people who come, but they don't get as much publicity because people don't share the information. I was saying this earlier. I don't know if you were on the live stream yet, but we get critiques about celebrities, but human beings pay attention to celebrities before they pay attention to regular people. So, for instance, many people may know that I manage the year of return and beyond the return pages. And when I post something, I notice that people will share a celebrity story before they share a non-celebrity story. So for instance, I shared, I'll repeat this in case people weren't here earlier when I said it. I had shared information about a youth and real estate event and a youth real estate entrepreneurship and investment, promoting, teaching young people those things, those skills. And one of the posts didn't even get 10 likes, and people didn't share it. But the post after that, I believe, was a celebrity post. And I should check the page right now just so that I get accuracy in what I'm saying. The celebrity post immediately got a lot of shares, while the non-celebrity post, where it's valuable stuff, it doesn't get many shares. It's unfortunate. Okay, here it is. So it was 4 likes. African youth in real estate, 4 likes. 4 people liked it. There's over 14K following the page, and only 4 people liked the post, and it had 0 shares and 0 saves. And then when I posted about Spike Lee arriving at the airport, filmmaker Spike Lee, I posted, got 453 likes. It's been shared 92 times. It's already have 14 saves. I just posted that today. So I'm saying these numbers. I'm reading it directly from the page. I'm saying these numbers because sometimes people critique and criticize about the celebrity aspect, but the reality is human beings themselves share the celebrity stuff more than they share some of the valuable, important content. And that's why sometimes when people do events, they want a celebrity involved. So you'll hear about somebody's doing, some empowerment event, and they want a celebrity to be a speaker because they know the celebrity will draw attention. And once they draw the attention, okay, now we got your attention. Now this is what we want to do. So a lot of people don't realize that. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. I will have to call this person back. And so a lot of people don't realize that sometimes we need those high profile people because it helps us to get attention to the other things that we need to do. So I hope that helps to answer the concern regarding celebrities, because it does bring attention, because then other people are like, oh, wow, I want to come and I want to do this. I want to come and I want to do that. So I think that that's the value of of celebrities. It really is. So thank you for your comment. Spectacle, I love it. Ha ha. Oh, is it my spectacles? My glasses? Kwame says we need both. We definitely need both. Kwame says lawyers, etc. Yeah, we do need both. We do need both. I do agree. I don't have anything against what she said. I just wanted to make a point that celebrities draw attention to a lot of things. No discrimination. We are all Black families. Thank you for your comment. Abby says celebrities are influential. So if celebs come, then some of these lawyers, MDs, and engineers will start coming to Ghana too. Very, very true. Next one is people love to follow celebrities, so don't attack the celebs. Thank you so much for your comment. I appreciate it. So I think a lot of celebrities are coming to Ghana because they're also recognizing and seeing that this is a potential place to come and explore. Because celebrities travel on vacation all the time and they go all over the world. And Africa only gets, I believe, 5% of travel in the world. Like of all the travel in the world, Africa only gets like 5%. Can you believe that? So people are now starting to see that, you know what? I can go to an African country for vacation. I can go to an African country as a new experience for an adventure. And so that's one of the things that people are starting to see. And so once celebs start coming, it actually starts to give people an opportunity to see through their eyes what's going on. Pro Woman J says, "Hey Ivy, found you from Joe's channel. Glad you're better. You're a class act. We're so lucky to have you. Hugs." Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. So let me see. Yeah, I love the fact that people are engaging here today. This is my first time doing a live in a long time. I've been a little bit absent. I've been posting a few shorts here and there on my page. I've been a little bit absent, but I am back in full effect. Sheesh, I'm so hot. Look at this girl. This girl is hot. This girl is hot. This girl is hot. I just celebrated my birthday this month. Oh, what a great, great month. My birthday month of March was a good celebration with friends. And yeah, let me see. I have another comment here. Ivy, thank you for your elaborate explanation, discussion. You are most welcome. You are most welcome, and I really appreciate your comment because it is a comment that a sentiment that is shared by people, and so I think it's important that when people do feel it, that they express it. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So this week Kamala Harris is in Ghana. She is going to be having like a luncheon with women entrepreneurs. She's going to be going to, I believe, Basics International. She's going to be meeting with the president of Ghana. And I would love to hear some of you who've joined. What do you think about the vice president of the United States being in Ghana right now? Do you think that it's valuable having the vice president in Ghana? Do you think that her interests in African countries is important and relevant? What are your thoughts? I would love to hear from you. She arrived today. There's a picture of her when she was making her speech. I'm just gonna, say some highlights again, because some of you may not been here earlier when I said it, that she basically said on this trip that she wants to focus on increasing investments on the continent of Africa and the U.S. facilitating economic growth and opportunities. And then she said she also wants to focus on the empowerment of women and girls and the empowerment of youth in areas of digital inclusion and entrepreneurship, and also supporting some of the issues on the African continent, including food security and the climate crisis that is affecting places in Africa. So with food security, one of the issues I have is the African continent shouldn't even be facing food security because we have so much. We have so much food, so much fertile land that we shouldn't even be facing this. Like things grow in Africa. There are some things that don't even need fertilizer and they grow, And so it just boggles my mind that things like the war in Ukraine are affecting Africa because of grains that are supposed to be imported here. And I'm just like, what? How is that possible? Because things grow here, you know? Um, and I'm just sending a message to somebody right now, the person who called. Um, for example, I was working on a documentary about food, African food, a few years ago. I was one of the producers, and the documentary series, part of it, there was a conversation with a farmer in northern Ghana, and he was talking about how um, the crop millet grows in Ghana without even fertilizer. He was like, it just grows. Like, even when there's drought, millet grows. He's like, it's one of those things that even with a drought, it grows. And so he was talking about how valuable it is, but yet people are steering away from it. And because there's importing of processed foods from abroad, and people, it's like there's so we filmed in Ghana, in Kenya, and in Zambia. I wasn't on the Zambia crew, but I was on the Kenya and Ghana crew. And one thing that I realized was there's this thing in African countries where people are steering away from local traditional foods and grains. And it's like when you get to the middle class or upper class, now you're like, oh, I have access to foreign stuff. So people are buying the foreign stuff that's being imported. They're buying more processed foods and abandoning some of the local, natural, healthier foods. So then you have these health issues that are arising as a result of going for these other things. So it just really boggles my mind when I hear that African countries are having food security issues, which is one of the things that Kamala is talking about. So, yeah, let me see what is happening in the comments here. Let's see. It's true. You're so hot. Wink, wink. Thank you. And I have, yeah, my birthday's in March. Thank you. Oh, yours is on the 22nd. Hey, you're Aries, but I'm a Pisces. Mine is on the Pisces side of March. So my dad was an Aries. My mom is an Aries. So there's quite a lot of people in my family with March birthdays. So we have a lot of Pisces and Aries in my family. So it's pretty cool. Happy belated birthday to you, Abby. And Kwame says, happy birthday. Hope your back is better. Thank you. I am trying. I'm probably going to wrap up soon because I've been sitting here and because earlier I moved funny and I think I hurt my back a little, a little bit. Missy says, happy belated birthday. Thank you. Fire sign. Thank you. I appreciate you, Abby, for all your comments. And I see you, Abby, on Instagram too. So I thank you. I see you on Instagram on my page. I see you on Instagram on the Year of Return and Beyond the Return pages too. So I thank you for your comments and your commitment and your watching and your reading and all that stuff. Thank you so much. Fadiki says Kamala's trip is about countering supposed China's influence in Africa. Yes, a lot of people are saying this. A lot of people are saying that China and Russia having interest in Africa is kind of something that is pushing the US to now try to get their foot onto the African continent and trying to regain a position. So thanks for your feedback there. Work Your Dream MD says, I'm glad she's there, but they hardly give her any press here in the States. Oh, really? That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. VP Harris' visit is great and highlights and potential of Ghana and Africa. Thank you for their feedback. And we have Wisdom who says, peace and salutations to you, Miss Ivy, our practical guides of Ghana. Thank you. I appreciate you. Subjugated Truth says the vice president visit to Ghana should be a humbling one. Leave the U.S. arrogance on U.S. soil. Kwame says, I agree, Ivy, but our so-called leaders lack vision. This is something that a lot of people talk about when it comes to African leadership. People talk about the vision of African leaders, that African leaders are not having any foresight. And a lot of people look to Rwanda's leader and say President Rwanda has been doing great things, and they look at other leaders in Africa and say that they're not being progressive and not doing things for their people. So I appreciate your feedback. Missy says, I would think she would want to know why so many Afro-Americans are relocating to Ghana. Yeah, I think she's going to be meeting with the African American Association of Ghana. For those of you who do not know, the African American Association of Ghana started to give like a support to African Americans when they moved to Ghana. And they've grown to be a really important part of society in Ghana. And so the president of the association is somebody who recently moved to Ghana, and he's been doing a lot of things in Ghana. And his name is Diallo Sombri. The president of the African American Association of Ghana was also the first African American to be made a tourism ambassador of Ghana. And he's also the CEO of the Adinka Group. They were a huge part of the Year of Return in 2019. So she will be having a meeting with them while she's here. Wisdom says the resources is abundant, but the brains of Africans sees no values of its natural resources and natural ways of environment. Thank you for your feedback. VP Harris' visit is good and highlights Ghana and Africa's potential. It definitely puts a spotlight on Africa because, I mean, she is such a high-profile figure in the United States, and all high-profile figures in the U.S. get a lot of press around the world. So yeah. Wisdom says, get the likes up, please. Thank you, Wisdom. My uncle's name is Wisdom as well. Kwame, we can grow rice and rear chickens. Very true. Ado says, I think her visit to Ghana will act as an encouragement to the diasporans to visit the continent. It may. There are some diasporans who don't like her. And I've seen some of the comments that some of them have been making, saying that they would rather she stayed out of the continent of Africa. And then there are those who love that she's in the continent of Africa. Frank says, Ukraine food, a lot of them went to Europe. Unfortunately, Westerns sit on their TV station telling the whole world it goes to Africa, which is not true. Oh, Frank, thank you so much for sharing that bit of information. Wisdom says, happy belated birthday, Ivy. May you prosper in all your ways and works. Thank you. Medase Akpe, thank you. Can you please give live once a week? We really miss you. You've been gone for so long. Oh, thank you. Actually, I was thinking about starting to do live once a week. I just have to figure out what day is best for me to do the live once a week so that it works with my schedule and doesn't conflict with other people as well. So thank you. I will definitely consider doing that. If not once a week, at least twice a month. But I am working towards once a week. Perlman says, trip seems more symbolic than substantive. Won't touch on trade justice, debt relief, U.S. government support of repats building in Ghana, avoiding the tough stuff or for photo ops. Ooh, thank you for that feedback. Kamala Harris has no way with Black Americans, just a pawn. She claims East Indian. I have heard people say this. Yeah, because she's half Indian and half Black. So I have heard this sentiment shared by people before. Thanks for sharing your opinion there. Please go live once a week so I know you're still alive and safe. Okay. Thank you. Another thing that USA is concerned about, how many Africans are looking towards Africa or even thinking of living in Africa? Very possible, because there are a lot of people who have been making the move, the transition over the last 5 years. Ida Gaff says you have to watch these American celebrities because they bring the alphabet agenda with them. As a diasporan who lives in the States, a lot of Black Americans don't like her. She does nothing for Black folks. Ooh, wow. I've been hearing people say that more and more. Wisdom says, my mother is Ga and my father is Ewe, which gave me my name as Wisdom, Kweku Agbo Boren in Accra, but now resides in Amsterdam. Yeah, my father is Ewe, my mom is Achim. So she has no relationship with her Jamaican family. Are you talking about Kamala Harris? Or are you talking about Shirley Ralph? Because I mentioned Shirley Ralph earlier in this live stream. I was looking for this because I'm sweating. I'm sweating a lot. So I have been living without air conditioning all these years in Ghana. Can you believe that? And now I'm like, you know what? I think I need to buckle down and go and buy some air conditioning. There's no central air in Ghana, except for like maybe like some major, buildings that may have it. But in people's homes, they don't have central air conditioning the way that you have central air conditioning in the United States and Canada. Um, I can't speak for Europe because I didn't live there, but I've lived in the US and Canada, and that's where you have like central air conditioning systems that flow through ventilation through homes and stuff. But here you have to get like a unit that would like go on the wall or like a standalone. And I just haven't bothered. I've been living with fans, but now I'm just like, I'm really hot these days. So I'm like, I think I need to just buckle down and get the AC. So yeah, that's why I'm so hot right now. I'm just like, this is crazy. Let's see. Let me go back to the comment section. Thank you, everybody who's here. Don Biggie says, I'm afraid USA is more talk and no concrete action when it comes to Africa. They just talk and do not really do anything to help Africa grow. I see nothing coming out of this trip. It's just PR. I've been hearing a lot of people say that. Thank you for your feedback, Don Biggie. Thank you so much. Ivy, can you please do a documentary on Accra Art Center? There's so much talent there. I actually want to go there and do a video about a situation that's happening there. I won't say it right now, but situation that's happening there that I wanted to talk to some of them about. But the challenge is some of them didn't want to talk on camera. Like I had a guy that we were having a conversation and was like really good information he was giving me. And then he's like, oh, but I don't want to talk on camera. I'm like, what? Like, what? You just said such good stuff. But long story short, they're potentially being pushed out of there because of some development that's going to be happening. And I wanted to just dive in and find out more about what's happening to them and where they're being forced to move from where they are now. But yeah, that's something that I wanted to talk about. But thanks for bringing that up and reminding me about the Art Center people. Ida Gaff says, Kamala Harris boldly stated during her presidential run that she will not anything just for Black Americans. Oh, she did she? Wisdom says, your earrings and glasses are very nice. Is that your own brand? The glasses are by an African-American based out of Atlanta, Kai Alchi Eyewear. And the earrings are from a Ghanaian brand that I may be partnering with soon. So thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Kamala has a Jamaican father. Oh, all along I thought Kamala's father was African American. I didn't realize her father was Jamaican. Okay, I see. All right. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I learned something new today. Pro Woman J says, at least Bill Clinton wore a kente robe and admitted to U.S. wrongs in Africa. Will Kamala at least wear African garb, admit African wrongs in Africa, admit American wrongs in Africa? Let's demand fair leadership. Let's see what happens. Wow, without air conditioning, it's a sauna all day, every day. Good for your health, but you need to cool down. I do need to cool down. I'm just like, yeah. I used to be able to manage it, but I feel like lately, I feel it's more hot. I don't know. The humidity is like more. So yeah, girl, this girl needs some air conditioning. This girl needs some air conditioning. Yeah, it's about time, especially if I'm going to be doing lives more often. I can't be sweating on camera like this. Part of Africa, they always facing droughts in Somalia and Ethiopia, some parts of Sudan. Other countries have lots of food. Yeah, you see, so with countries like Somalia and Ethiopia having drought, there are grains in Africa that can grow even when there's drought. Millet, like for real. And it's so healthy. Ivy, did you go to the festival with Chance the Rapper and Vic Mensa, the Black Star Line Fest? I heard it did well. Well, Abby, thank you for your question. I had mentioned earlier the Black Star Line Festival. I was hired as a producer on the documentary about the Black Star Line Festival. So I was the producer. There's a documentary that'll be coming out later in the year. I was at all the events that were happening all week leading up to the actual concert. So like Dave Chappelle came to Ghana and there was a talk that was part of the documentary. There was a Pan-African conference that featured people like Kwame Nkrumah's daughter, Sami Nkrumah was part of that, and then we did some interviews with some scholars, some Pan-African scholars, historians on the history of Ghana, and so I was the producer of the documentary, and which included covering the actual concert. It went well, but it was very long. The concert went overnight. Like Ghanaians love to party and stuff overnight. It went overnight. The concert ended at 6:30 in the morning. 6:30 in the morning. Like, yeah, so, but it went well. It went very well. Thank you for asking. Ida Gaff says Black Americans leaving America, even with 8 years of Black president and 4 years with Kamala Harris. And then we have, no, Kamala did not say that. What many of people fail to understand is that Congress cannot pass a law just for one race. And so she cannot just say, let's pass this or that law just for Black folks. Anthony says, celebrities coming to Ghana, I see it as a positive. I also noticed that Ghana is becoming a launching hub for business that want to break into the African market. I think that has a lot to do with that Ghana is one of the easier countries to do business in Africa. And the Ghana Investment Promotion Center is highly involved in helping people figure out the ways to do business in Ghana. Now, one of the things that people need to know is if you want to do business in Ghana and you're not a citizen of Ghana, it is expensive to be able to do business in Ghana. So that's why sometimes people will partner with a Ghanaian so it reduces the expense, or focus on exporting. So if you do an exporting business, you don't need as much money invested in Ghana to start an exporting business as you do if you're going to start a business in Ghana on your own or partnering with a Ghanaian. So I often say to people, if you're not a citizen and you want to do business, to explore doing export business, to come to Ghana. The next comment, Wisdom says, people like you, Ivy, are very rare because you qualify with results of improvement to the continent and have actual brains and solutions and usefulness. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. The visa process needs to be streamlined and simplified. The current process is archaic. I'm not going to disagree with you at all. One of the biggest challenges has been the visa thing that people talk about when they're coming to Ghana, the whole visa process. When I was going to Kenya, the visa process to Kenya was so easy. But now, I mean, with my Ghana passport, I don't need to go through the visa process anymore. That was when I had gone to Kenya on my Canada passport. So, but yeah, the visa process going to Kenya was so much easier than the Ghana process. Ms. Harris, East Indian mother and Jamaican father, met at university in the US. Thanks for that little tidbit. Pro Woman J says, Ghana's done the best job of romancing and encouraging Black celebs to come. Now it's a thing among celebs to have gone to Ghana specifically. It definitely is a thing. And I have to say, people like in 2017, 2018, Bozoma St. John and Boris Kodjoe were very instrumental in inviting their personal friends who were celebrities, high profile people, to come to Ghana. And when those people came, it encouraged others to also come, because it was literally like people would see on social media, what is this person doing there? What is that person doing there? Should I go there? And then when they hear their personal experiences, or they see those people posting their experiences, then it encouraged them to also feel like, okay, it's cool to come to Ghana. I'll feel safe. Because that's one of the things coming to Africa. Some people think it's not going to be safe and they're worried and all that kind of stuff. Wisdom says, Ivy, you deserve to get your dues of works and appreciations. How can we get you your own fan? My own fan? Get me somebody who's going to blow the fan for me. Somebody who's like, whew. I actually have a fan, but I turned the fan off because if the fan was on, the ceiling fan would actually make so much noise in the microphone that it would be very distracting. So like, see how when I go like this and you can hear the wind here, that's how it would be with the ceiling fan. It would end up going into the sound and it would sound really bad because I actually tested it out first before I went live. And it was like, I can't do that because it'll be too noisy. Yeah. Okay. Let us, they passed laws for LGBTQ Hispanics, DACA program. Don't believe that nonsense that they can't do anything just for Black people. YPK says, for those who do not understand this, they should just look at what is happening to the money Biden and Kamala pushed for minority farmers. Republicans kicked against it and case in court. There is so much in US politics going on that some of us don't even know what's happening. May God bless our homeland and continue to make it great and strong. Thank you, Ivy. I appreciate you. Thank you, Alma. I appreciate you so much. So are there a lot of Black people from Canada and Ghana? Excuse me, I'm in Uganda and haven't seen any yet. There's Canadians in Ghana. There are Canadians in Ghana. There is a Canadian community. There are people here. They're just not as vocal as Americans are. They don't get as much press as Americans do, and sometimes the press doesn't care about Canadians the way they care about Americans. And I say that, for example, there was a U.S. network that was interviewing people about the year of return during the end of the year of return, and I was there when it was being filmed. And then the woman was asking me about my involvement. And I said, oh, actually, I'm the social media manager for the year of return. I'm the one who manages all the social media, and that I've written press releases and that kind of stuff, and, helping with the digital marketing campaign. And I go to all the events, capture the content and curate and post the content. And she was like, wow, that's so amazing. It's because of social media that we started to see the buzz about Ghana and wanted to come here and cover it for our news network. And I was like, oh, great. So are you going to interview me? Because they were interviewing a bunch of other people. And then she was like, oh, no, we're only interviewing African-Americans because you're Canadian. And I was like, okay. They don't care about Canadians. They just care about the African-Americans in the story, even though I'm a major part of the story because I'm the one who's doing the digital content and posting it and sharing it and writing some of the press releases. But they didn't want to hear my story. They wanted to only speak to African-Americans because I was Canadian. They didn't want to hear. So, but yes, to answer your question, there are Canadians in Ghana. They just don't get as much publicity as the Americans do. That's all. Wisdom says, Ivy, from next week, maybe I will touch down in Ghana, Accra. Is it possible for me to meet you for your guidance? I get this request a lot. And if you can imagine, it's not something I can necessarily do is meet with everybody who makes requests to meet with me. What I suggest is if people want to book a consultation, they can book a consultation, send me an email, info@ivyprosper.com. Because I can't guarantee that I'll be able to meet with people because I in my DMs, sometimes in my DMs, I have so many people requesting to meet. And imagine, let's say if you open your DMs and you have 100 people asking you to meet, you can't it's not humanly possible to meet with every single person because of the fact that there's just not enough time with the work that I do to meet with every single person. But I encourage people to send me an email and see what's possible. I'm trying to see if I can put my email address on the screen for some of you if you wanted to send an email. Let me do that right now. info@ivyprosper.com is my email address. So that if somebody wants to send me an email, you can send me an email to that email address and we can see what happens from there based on timing, scheduling, and what possibilities are. Because I can't possibly meet with every single person, but I really appreciate you asking. Thank you. So let me go back to the comments. Did I miss somebody? Let me see. Go back. The time I've been on here for almost an hour. Wow, this is awesome today. I really do need to be. Oh, I heard some noise. My neighbors. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Sometimes my neighborhood can get a little bit loud. Okay, hi Ivy. I will off to fan you. I hope my request will be granted. Question, what are your plans for 2023? Yes, understood, Ivy Prosper. Thank you. My plans for 2023, you will see. You will see. You will see. Big things coming. You will see. Thank you for asking, but you will see. We need to be more vocal. I'm surprised the Canadian press never covered it. Yeah, the Canadian press. Yeah, they're a little slow. Like I know I have pitched some story ideas and stuff to people, and And nobody really responded. So hey, it is what it is. Maybe one day they'll catch on. Tourism growth is major agenda item for a Ghanaian presidential flag bearer candidate. Thoughts? Wait. Tourism growth is a major agenda item for a Ghanaian presidential flag bearer candidate. Yeah, tourism is definitely a big thing. It's because it's one of the big drivers of the economy. So for sure it is. But I think with some of the challenges happening in the country economically, because a lot of the local people are frustrated, saying that that there's a lot of focus on the diaspora and what about the local community and some of the challenges and people being jobless and looking for work and stuff. So I think sometimes they with the voting they may focus more on the local concerns. Yeah. Yes, I can hear your neighbors. Yeah, you heard them. Yeah, they can be loud sometimes. It's so funny. How is the electricity situation in Ghana? It depends on where you are. One thing I noticed when I'm in East Legon, the power goes out more than where I live. I live in Tema, so the power goes out more in East Legon. So there's certain areas that I find the power goes out more than others, but it's not as bad as it was 10 years ago when it was like going off so much. It's much better than it was before, but you still have to prepare for potential power outages sometimes. Krista says, I'm catching your live late. I'll watch the replay. Love your channel. Thank you so much, Krista. I'm going to work towards doing these lives once a week. I just need to figure out which day is best for me to do them. Black Cricket 100 says, Ivy, could you bring attention to the National Theatre of Ghana that their website donation page isn't working? Oh, really? It's not working. Let me go on my WhatsApp and send a message to the person I know who works with them so I don't forget, because sometimes my memory, I'll be like forgetting stuff. So let me just do that now so that I don't forget, because that's not good for an organization to not have their link working. You said the National Theater. Yeah, I'll send a message to the person right now. Thank you for drawing that attention. I appreciate it. May the officials need to come to Canada and promote the return. You know what? Actually, last year when I was in Canada, Ghana Tourism, Beyond the Return, and the Diaspora Affairs Office, Ghana Investment and Promotion Center, the Minister of Tourism, all came to Toronto, and they had it was like a business conference to talk about investment in Ghana, and promoting the whole concept of coming to Ghana. And I mean, that happens. They do have the Diaspora Affairs Office, especially the Deputy Director of the Diaspora Affairs Office. She's also from Canada. And she does her best to do some of the promotional stuff, but the media themselves haven't really caught on to they haven't caught on to it. But one thing I will say is Brandon Gones in Toronto. Brandon Gones, he actually did a quick thing on his news, and he's independent. He's not working for major media. He has his own media company, which he has grown exponentially. And I congratulate him as a Black man who left a major network to go and start his own thing. Brandon Gones, he actually did a quick thing on Deti December in Ghana, and so I think, now that he's seen that, he's like the pulse of Ghana. Actually, now that I think about it, I should pitch him. I should contact him, reach out to him and pitch him, because I think that he really needs to bring shed a light on what's happening in Ghana. So I am glad this conversation is here, because I definitely will reach out to him. Yeah. Do you have ECOWAS password? I think you mean passport. I have a Ghana passport, so that's an ECOWAS passport. I have a Ghana passport, which is under the ECOWAS. So yes, I have a Ghana passport, and I have my Canada passport. Thank you for asking. It's always about money. Foolishly, people believe that all diasporans have money. It's true. People think that, but not all diasporans have a lot of money. Ghana is expensive. And I tell people, Ghana is expensive. If you want to move to Ghana, prepare for a lot of money. Do you think Ghana will have all-inclusive resorts as in the Caribbean? This is something that I have been saying for a long time. Ghana needs to have all-inclusive resorts because it's a lot to come and pay hotel, pay for food, pay for all your experiences. Whereas like Jamaica, when I went to Jamaica, it was like $1,400 all inclusive, and you get food all day, every day, drinks all day, every day in your hotel. It's just like when you leave the resort, then you spend money. But on the resort, everything's included. Everything. Go for a massage, go to the beach, go like everything included, and there's nothing like that in Ghana. Nothing like that in Ghana right now. And it's so needed. So thanks for bringing that up because it's something that I have said. It's needed big time. As a Ghanaian Canadian in Toronto, you're right. We are in Ghana. I've had so many of my friends who've come here and are coming to Ghana. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Ivy, do you have any assistant or others working on your behalf to make sure that you don't forget anything concerning your works and business? You know what? I'm actually going to be bringing on somebody as an assistant. I've been talking to some people. So yes, I am going to be having somebody within the next couple of weeks so that I don't have anything missed, because it is something that I think is hurtful for my business when I don't have things that are followed up on because I'm trying to do everything by myself. So I definitely will be having somebody within the next couple of weeks. Wisdom, thank you for asking. Government demolished a repat Hebrew Israelite property in Cape Coast. I can't speak on that because I wasn't there. What I do know is that that my office, the Beyond the Return office, Ghana Tourism Authority, went there to go and investigate firsthand exactly what's going on. I personally wasn't there. I've been off of work for a little bit because of my back. So I wasn't there on the trip to Cape Coast when they went there to go find out what happened. So I can't really comment on it because I don't know all the details on all sides. I will find out when I go back to the office tomorrow. But there's a whole lot involved in that from what I know. It's an unfortunate situation that's happened and brought a lot of bad attention and then has brought up more conversations about the whole issues in Ghana. Because one of the things I want the diaspora to know is that when it comes to land and home issues in Ghana, to not take it personal. Do not take it personal, because sometimes people say Ghana's against the diasporas. Ghana doesn't want us here. Ghana says come, but then this is how they treat us with the land and the properties. Ghanaians treat Ghanaians the same way. So don't think it's because you're from the diaspora. Let me tell you, there are Ghanaians born and raised who have never left this country that have land and property issues in this country. The top thing in the court system in Ghana is land, property, violations, people in conflict for land. It is choked in the court system in Ghana long before the diaspora. It is choked in the court system in Ghana. So I just want the diaspora. I'm not saying that it's a good thing that happened. What I'm saying is, don't think that it's only happening to you. It is happening to Ghanaian born and raised people the same. So when those kinds of things happen, please don't say that Ghana did it to the diaspora. Ghana does it to Ghanaians. And it's a sad situation. People have to really do their due diligence when it comes to land stuff. If you have a property, and let's say, because even though if you have your property, and let's say you have a 50-year lease or you have a 99-year lease, and let's say, because they bring these, you still have to pay this fee, sort of like how you have property taxes. You still have those kinds of things that you have to pay in Ghana. And if you don't pay that and it goes on backlog, and even if you have a 50-year lease, they can come and kick you out. They can come and knock your place down. From what I hear, I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you from what I hear, that kind of stuff can happen. So yeah, please don't think it's something that's Ghana versus diaspora, because Ghanaians do it to Ghanaians when it comes to land, and it sucks. It really sucks. So it's after 11 on my end. I've been here for a while, and my back is starting to bug me, so I need to like lie down. Let me quickly skim through some of these comments. Ivy, have you heard about Black Men from America called Marquette Devon Burton? He's a tech genius and very respected. The name sounds familiar. I'll have to look him up. Thank you for mentioning that. I will look him up. Lady Ivy, right about all the inclusive resort. I think we should give it some time, because as Ghana tourism grows, they will definitely have to make changes. Definitely make changes for sure. Interesting activities happening in June. My mom and I are planning a trip in Ghana in June. Off the top of my head, I am not sure. I'm sure there will be something, but off the top of my head, I'm not sure. Two sides to the story, but it probably could have been avoided. I'm sure of that. I've been told Accra is slowly getting expensive for the average local. It is expensive for everybody. That a lot of units in upscale apartments are empty, and the top local professionals like doctors, lawyers can't even afford. Very true. Very true. Ghana tourism is in its infancy stage. It's not level Kenya, Egypt, South Africa, but I can see all inclusive. But that will come soon. Thank you for that feedback. It's definitely more of a system problem than systematic, specifically aimed at any groups. Yeah, it's a huge systematic problem when it comes to land stuff in Ghana. Ivy Prosper, Miss Fax Teller. Yeah, I don't want to get stuff wrong. Like, for real. I'm the person who doesn't want to spread wrong information. I see a lot of people on YouTube spreading wrong information and say things matter of fact that they know. And I don't do that. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. I'm not sure, because I don't think it's good to give wrong information to people. The government don't own land in Ghana. Families and chiefs control the lands. It's very true. Families and chiefs control the land. Families are the ones who have the freehold lands. That people want freehold, but freehold, but freehold is usually family, and it's passed down from generation to generation. The little have gathered is that the Cape Coast situation had to do with land use violations, among other things. Again, I don't know all the details on that, but thank you for sharing that. There should be special government ministry that helps diasporans lease land in Ghana. I tell people, check with the Lands Commission. The Lands Commission is there. Check with the Lands Commission before you make an agreement to get a property. Check with the Lands Commission, because they actually have the full database of who owns land. You could go to the Lands Commission and find out someone's selling you land, and you go and you check and you're like, oh, this is already owned by somebody, but they're trying to sell it to me and claiming that they own it, but someone else owns it. So the Lands Commission, you have to go to the Lands Commission. Bye, Ivy. Get some rest. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Ivy. We always gain more with every live. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, everybody. I'm about to go. Peace out. It's about time Ghana resolve these land litigation issues. Is a deterrent for business opportunities. Thank you for that last point. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for joining this live. Why are so many celebrities coming to Ghana? And of course, it being a live stream, we diverted to other things. We talked a lot about Kamala Harris, talked about Sheryl Lee Ralph being in Ghana, Spike Lee being in Ghana, Idris Elba having come to Ghana, talking about wanting to build a film studio. I talked about Ludacris coming to Ghana, doing some music recently. So it's like, and then the year started off with Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa. They brought people like Dave Chappelle, so many people who came to do performances, to come and see Ghana and just experience the country, which has been a really, really awesome start to the year. We're just in the first quarter of 2023, and there's so much more to come. I really appreciate all of you. Don't forget to follow me on social media. All of my social media handles are very easy. It's just my name, Ivy Prosper. You can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Let me just type it out so that there's no mistakes. It's Ivy Prosper. Follow me, Ivy Prosper, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and here on YouTube, it's Ivy Prosper. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay in touch. You can reach me by email on info@ivyprosper.com for any questions you may have, and or if you want to book a consultation with more information on Ghana. Consultations do come with a fee if you're looking for in-depth information. So I appreciate all of you, every single one of you. I'm going to work towards doing a live stream every week, and I just got to figure out which day. And as Frank says, good night. Thank you, everybody. Good night. and I'll see you next time.